Hi guys. Okay, we're gonna try something a little different today. Today, oh darn it, where are my markers? I know where they are. We're gonna use these because they're super pretty and they don't bleed through the paper. Okay, so I have been working on some math posters, and since we are moving on to parallelograms, I know they can be kind of intimidating. What else is intimidating is that my computer kicked me off and now it's being ridiculous. Okay, we're back on. All right, so what we're gonna focus on today are areas of 2D figures. Here we go, 2D. That means you cannot do anything with them. They're flat on paper. But you guys know that already because you're intelligent and you're awesome and you're in 6th grade. So right now, we're going to focus on these 3 first, and then there are 3 more down there. But right now, we are going to focus on the area of these 3. So here we have a square. I know it is a square because it has 4 right angles, okay? Then we have our area of a triangle, really basic, and then we have our rectangle, okay? So let's focus on remembering these first, and then we will move on and we will do the parallelograms and a circle and even a trapezoid. But right now we are going to focus on area of a square. So when I have a square, let's do this in black, just to make it easy, right? So I have a square. Sorry if you guys get nauseous doing this. This is not very stable. And we have a square, and we are understanding the area of that 2-dimensional square. What we need to do is we need to take the sides. So a square does have 4 sides, but when we are finding the area of the square, we're just measuring around, the inside, right? Area is inside of an object. Okay, ignore that. Bloop, gone. So when we are doing this, we have the sides of the square. So what we do is we take these 2 sides, we are going to literally square them. All right, so remember we have our base and we have our exponent. So the area of a square is 1 side squared. That's kind of an easy way to remember it. And I know these are all even because of these little tick marks and the 90-degree angle, okay? So an area of a square is a side squared, all right? That's actually a pretty easy way to remember. Now, let's go to our triangle. I'm gonna make these so fun. Triangle. I actually had fun making these. They were taken from another math teacher, purchased from another math teacher, so she's a rock star. All right, so when we have our triangle, we are still trying to find the area. So to find the area, I need to have the base. But what technically is the base? Is it just this piece? Is it this piece? It is the whole bottom section of the triangle, okay? So the base is the whole bottom section. It's not just where it creates that 90-degree angle. It is the whole thing, okay? And then we have our height, right? So when we measure the height of a triangle, we don't measure it by the sides, okay? We literally measure from the highest point of the triangle to the base where it creates that 90-degree angle. So I need that 90 degrees, and this is going to be my height, okay? So I have my base and my height, but it is not area equals base times height because that is a different one, all right? When we do this, we have to half this. So area of a triangle is 1/2 times its base times its height. Okay? So this is the area of our triangle. Area equals 1/2 times base times height. All right? Now let's look at the rectangle. Probably should have done photocopies of these before I wrote on them. Oh well, live and learn. All right, so we have our rectangle right here. Now this guy has a funky little letter, and I think they make the L like this, like a cursive L, because they don't want us getting confused with a 1. So when we do our L's for area of a rectangle, we do the little pretty little squiggle, and we're going to be seeing a lot more of this, so make sure that you guys remember this is just an L. Okay, so for the area of a rectangle, I have length, my cursive L, times, what do you think? The width. Boom. L times W. And that's literally it. Area equals length times width. That one's pretty simple. Okay? I should probably connect these. Make sure that we all know where they're going. Boom, boom. Okay? So, the area of a square. Area equals the side squared. Triangle, area equals 1/2 times the base times height. For the length of, or for the area of a rectangle, area equals length times width. Okay? Notice too how I put the little tick marks. That means these two sides are equal, and then these two sides are equal. There are no tick marks on the triangle because none of the sides are equal. All right, let's move on down. Let's see if I can do this. So fancy. Boom. Okay, this is what we're focusing on. What is this? This is a parallelogram. Say that 10 times fast. Dare ya. Do it right now. Parallelogram. Just kidding. Okay. So a parallelogram, again, these sides, even, 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 even. Okay? These sides are equal. The top and bottom are equal. Okay, so here again, it's kind of, in a matter of fact, look, it's a triangle, right? Okay. So if you can remember the triangle one, you're good here. However, the only thing different about this triangle, this parallelogram, sorry, don't get it twisted. I still have my height, okay? I measure from the highest point to the base. Get a different color for the base. Let's do blue. This is my base. Remember, it is the whole bottom, the whole thing, okay? Watch how easy this is. Area of a parallelogram is just base times height. That's it. Boom. There's nothing else to do. That's literally it. Okay? Just remember, this is probably going to be the hardest thing to remember, is when you are measuring the height, you don't measure the sides of any shape that is wonky, like a triangle up here, or a parallelogram, or a trapezoid, like right here. We are measuring from the highest point to the base. All right? And if you need to do that little 90-degree mark, please do it. That way you get used to seeing that. Okay? Now this is a very new shape. I'm just kidding. This is a circle. Circle. But how do we find the area of a circle? Oh, I'm so glad you asked, because I'm going to tell you. Okay. We have our radius, right? The radius is the point from the center to the outside. Has to be dead set center. All right? I'm not going to ask you guys to make that centerpiece. But what math holiday just passed us recently? 3.14. If you guessed pi, you're correct. To find the area of a circle, we need to know that pi is the radius squared. So this is 3.14 times r squared. All right, now remember with PEMDAS, what would you do first? Would you multiply first, or would you do the exponents? Exponents. Remember that. You gotta do the exponents first. Okay? Let's draw our line. Boom. We know that connects. Now, this weirdo. Okay. This is going to come up, so please pay attention. Don't turn away. Don't turn this off. This is a trapezoid. Trapezoid. What do I have here? Again, it looks familiar. You can't see this, but I can up here. Your triangle. Okay. Again, you have your height with your 90 degrees. However, this guy has no even sides. A parallelogram has one base because it has two even sides. Regardless if I flip this over or not, the base would still be the same, correct? If I flipped this even side over, this part being the base now would still be exactly the same. Yes, it would. I promise you. So when we are working with the bases, plural, there are more than one bases of a trapezoid. I'm just going to go from top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom. This is base 1. Boom. You guys hear that? I have a bird that pecks on the window over there. It's absolutely horrible. Base 1 and base 2. Okay, you have to get this to understand how to find the area of a trapezoid. And guys, you are doing this later on this week, so please understand you need both of these. Okay, now these guys are similar to the parallelogram and the triangle. So I'm gonna leave this here because I'm gonna use the same color. What did I use for that? I think I used this one. Yeah, this one. Okay. So I need my black one too. Boom. 1/2 times height. Okay, 1/2 times height times, I'm doing this in black so that you guys can see the separation of it. I'm using the same colors, color coordinating. Base 1, because if I flipped it over, this would be the base 1. I'm going from top to bottom, plus base 2. Oh, almost got me. Almost got me. Boom. Okay? So top to bottom, base 1, base 2. Area equals 1/2 times height times base 1 plus base 2. All right? Now, I know this can be intimidating, but don't worry. It's the first time you're seeing it. We're in a very weird situation in our lives in general, not just with teaching, but in general. But this, just focus on getting these right here. These. Okay? You guys should know all this stuff up here. So here's another peek. Area of a square. Area equals side squared. Area of a triangle. Area equals 1/2 times base times height. Area of a rectangle is length times width. We're doing the little pretty pink part. Okay. Length times width. Again, I just want to point out that the length is not the same as the width. Okay. This is the height of the triangle. They're calling it width so that we don't get it confused with the parallelogram. Okay. This is our length. This is our width. Okay. I'm moving back down. Keep going, keep going, keep going. There it is. Okay. Parallelogram. Base times height. The height is the length from the top to the bottom, highest point to the lowest point. You can do the height over here, but it's going to be a little harder to track. Okay. Area of a circle. Area equals pi times r squared. We would do r squared first because PEMDAS, because math law. And then finally, trapezoid. Area equals 1/2 times height times base 1 plus base 2. Okay, so we're going to stop it right there. We're going to do some examples over on the board later, but I still want to get this uploaded so that you guys have it, and then we can continue on with our lesson. All right? Good job. You guys got this. Good job.